What up, Mike D checking in here, man. This is the stuff I love to do the most, man. Shout out to a Tribe Called Quest. The Low End Theory celebrated 34 years. Has it been 34 years? Hold on, I'll find out real quick. Yes, it has been 34 years. Yep. Shout out to Tribe, Q-Tip, rest in peace to Fife, Ali Shaheed, Jerobi. Man, the Low End Theory is one of my favorite hip hop albums, period. And there's so many things that I could say about the Low End Theory. I mean, I've been listening to it. I've been listening to it all day, but I listen to it all the time. It's one of those albums that you go back to. It's actually one of my favorite pieces of vinyl that I have in my collection. It's that mix of jazz and hip hop, and it sounds so fucking good. That's the point. Like when we talk about the greatness of the Low End Theory, when I put the needle on the record, I'm like, man, this sounds incredible, man. And not even just from a quality standpoint, just from a timeless nature of it all. Like, this doesn't sound like an album that's 34 years old. Like, think about what hip hop sounded like in 1991. You know, you got some great stuff, but we're talking about end to end album. In my personal opinion, Low End Theory is a top 10 hip hop album all time, point blank, period. Um, and when you look at the Tribe Called Quest documentary and think about the fact that, okay, sophomore jinx are out there, they're coming off of People's Instinctive. And personally, People's Instinctive is, I don't know if I could say it's my personal favorite anymore, but at some point in my life, People's Instinctive was my personal favorite because of the energy of it and how different it sounded. And it had hits, man. It had Bonita on it. It had Can I Kick It on it. And so Tribe was following that up. And not only just following that up, they wanted to get Fife more involved. And what the Low End Theory did was basically curated the sound of A Tribe Called Quest and that marriage that we see between jazz and hip hop. They married that perfectly. But it created that wave on a level where it put a blueprint out there for everyone else to follow. Now, I know other people were using jazz samples before, but this one right here, it took things to that next level. And when you listen to how abstract those samples are that are on the Low End Theory that were used by Q-Tip, it's freaking incredible, man. Like it's like how did you hear a hip hop song in that? And albums like this really expand the possibilities of sonically what could be done and what could be made into a hip hop record. You have albums like 3 Feet High and Rising, shout out to Prince Paul, who expand that base of what sonically we could get from a hip hop record or for a hip hop record at that time. I always go to Paul's Boutique from the Beastie Boys, things like that. And the Low End Theory to me is a masterful play on all of those things and taking sonically hip hop to the next level. And it just sounds so good. And that that collaboration between Fife and Q-Tip on the mic is perfectly exemplified here. Bugging out, crazy, man. Excursions, crazy. Rap promoter, man, and Butter, in my personal opinion, Butter's one of my favorite songs on this album, if not my favorite. I always go back to Butter. The sample for the beat on Butter is insane, man. And to me, I think that Q-Tip as a producer, that's probably the biggest assist he's ever given Fife in their whole time of working together. And he's given a lot of assists. But Butter, man, and then just doing the hook, it's like Butter, baby. Like with that saxophone, like that shit is insane, man. And you get the ultimate alley oop with Busta Rhymes here as well on Scenario. But I'm gonna get to Scenario in a minute. Verses from the Abstract. Love that record as well. Beautiful, beautiful record. Verses from the Abstract. The Show Business, featuring Brand Nubian. You know, you even got Lord Jamar's on this album. Dope record, man. And see, records like that kind of go understated because of how much firepower is on this album. Vibes and Stuff, possibly my favorite song on this album too. It's one of my favorite songs. Vibes and Stuff is beautiful, man. Rest in peace to MC Trouble. Rest in peace to Cowboy. The dedications that were on this album. This is 1991. We had fallen soldiers in hip hop early on. For the people who don't know Cowboy is, man, Cowboy was the one who came up with the term hip hop. Um, I like the date rape record, the infamous date rape. The beat on that is insane. I mean, the production here is just so far ahead of everything else. And I can't say enough about the Low End Theory and what the album means to me and what it means to Tribe and what it means to the subgenre of hip hop that I feel like it birthed. Like we're all children of A Tribe Called Quest's mindset on this album. The people who think from an abstract lens. And see, this was abstract thinking, but put in such a palatable package that anyone could appreciate it, man. The Low End Theory's top, I'm sorry, it's top 10 to me, straight up. It's Tribe's best album. I fought that for a long time. I know a lot of you guys in the on the channel argue with me with Midnight Marauders. I love Midnight Marauders. I think Midnight Marauders at its high points, it's possibly higher than the high points on the Low End Theory, but the Low End Theory's got flow, man. The infamous date rape. Check the Rhyme. I didn't even get to Check the Rhyme. Now, I even need to talk about Check the Rhyme? Beat's incredible there too. Everything is fair when you're living in the city. I love that, man. That beat is insane too. We got the jazz. Come on, the drums on there. I like Sky Pager a lot. I think the only record on this album that I don't love is What? That shit's dope too. And then you got Scenario. Ending it off with a posse cut like that. And I would love to ask Q-Tip what was the mindset behind ending this album on a posse cut. Because that was a little bit unorthodox, and I don't know whose decision that was. I mean, it could have been many people's decision. Um, yeah, it could have been a lot of people's decision. There was a lot of people, a lot of hands in the pot here, but the assist that was given to Busta Rhymes on Scenario is all time great. It clearly was the game changer for Busta as a solo artist. And Q-Tip seems like, from a production standpoint, he had that plan. He was like, I did it, so don't violate or you'll get violated. And then he just hits Busta Rhymes with it's like, and here he is. It's similar to what, Ye did for Nicki on the Monster joint. Like, this is your platform, take it away. And Busta, as I combine all the juice from the mind, heal up, reel up, bring it back home, rewind, powerful impact, boom. And you hear many people talk about the fact that that was the moment that Busta kind of broke out from Leaders of the New School. I'm sure he was able to get various deals off of just that performance alone. And I think it was Dante Ross who was he was the executive, he was the A&R, excuse me, that signed Leaders of the New School back in the day. He said Scenario was the best thing and the worst thing for Leaders in the New School, alluding to the fact that the exposure was great, but it also planted seeds to, for the group to kind of break up and try to outdo each other on the next album, and the chemistry was never there anymore. But not to get off subject, that was huge for Busta Rhymes, and Busta Rhymes being catapulted into a solo star was huge for hip hop. It was definitely necessary, but yes, he comes off the tree of the Low End Theory as well. The Neptunes come off the tree of the Low End Theory. Kanye West, Common, The Roots, Jay Dilla, of course. Um, then you got Slum Village, Little Brother, Ninth Wonder. Many of us are coming off of the tree of the Low End Theory, and I believe the Low End Theory is an incredibly important hip hop album. If you don't have it in your collection and you're a hip hop fan, I think you should get it in your collection. I think I'm not having it just on streaming platforms. That's cool. Like having it on streaming platforms, fine. But I do think that for a piece of art like this, I think you need the actual joint, man. Like I was so I was so happy when I found it, and I'm one of those that, I don't really do the online shopping too much when it comes to stuff like this because, you don't want your stuff delivered all crazy or whatever. So I do want to go in record stores and get pieces that are like this. And when I found this out there, I was like, oh no, I'm getting the low end theory. Like that's just happening. So let me know what you guys' favorite song on the low end theory is. And yes, happy 34th anniversary to an album that does not sound like it's 34 years old at all. And hit like and subscribe, man. I'm gonna talk to you guys soon. All right.